coming up on The Weekend View.
Is the waiting game over for Harry Styles since he started dating Zoe Kravitz?
I like that match. The surprising reaction to the FX series Love Story recreating JFK Jr. and Carolyn Bassett's most scandalous blow. I'm so obsessed with this show. Could fighting in public actually be good for you?
Why Larry David's latest project has him in a power struggle with President Obama.
And how Kerry Washington's exposing her husband for showing her in a bad light. See if you can relate to that.
It all starts now
On The Weekend View.
Why did I clap for myself?
So Harry Styles, his latest album is entitled Kiss All the Time, Disco Occasionally. That's cute. It's his fourth album to debut at #1. In a recent interview, he told DJ and producer Zane Lowe that his new single, The Waiting Game, is about his history of self-sabotaging past relationships. Watch.
You can romanticize your shortcomings, ignore your agency to stop, write a ballad with the details while skimming off the top.
Really cynical.
I think I just liked being that honest with myself about what I was doing and what I was doing with music and what I was doing with my life and what I was doing with my relationships. And you always justify playing the waiting game. You try messing with your own design, playing the waiting game, and it all adds up to nothing.
So he's self-sabotaged. Interesting. He's dating Zoe Kravitz now
sure
for quite a
is.
while.
Yeah.
So maybe he's over it. But since August, that's not that long.
Yeah.
You know,
I love them together.
envy's not a thing I have, but I gotta tell you, that woman's mom, Lisa Monet, she's been with Lenny Kravitz and Jason Momoa.
Yeah. And Zoe.
Yeah, I got envy.
Zoe Kravitz was dating Channing Tatum for a while and some other really gorgeous people.
But you know,
she's a
all of
gorgeous
us are
girl.
married for quite a long time, every one of us.
Well, but I mean, but you were with Steve without getting married for decades, or
I
we forgetting that part?
Well, yeah, I had commitment
She
issues.
was still feeling it out. Why rush her?
But
Why do you think you had commitment issues?
I met him in '82, and we got married in 2011.
Nobody's judging your pace,
No,
girl.
but you had commitment issues. Why? Because you'd been divorced already?
Yeah, I knew what it was. I had already stepped on that
And she'd
grenade.
already had her
Why would
her daughter
I want to blow myself up again?
Yeah. But what made you change your mind about commitment?
I always tell the story that I got married because of two reasons. One, you want somebody to step on the air hose when the time comes. That's my most romantic story. And the other is I really wanted to have a big party and invite everybody.
I like that.
And you did that.
That was
part.
it.
And you did that.
Can we have
why did you
another
get
big
married?
party?
What? I could have. I'd like to do another party soon.
You know, I wouldn't say that I've had commitment issues, but I did. There was a time when I was dating someone that I was madly in love with and very, very serious. But coming from a background of poverty, financial security was really important to me.
Yeah.
And he was supposed to go to medical school, and then he decided to be a stuntman. And I was literally like, what? And like, I was really in love with him. You know him, and he's gorgeous. And then I come to find out maybe 10, 15 years later, he is the #1 stuntman in the country.
So at least he did it well, Sonny. There's that part.
I know, and
Wait a
now he
second.
coordinates stunts for the biggest movies in the world.
But did you dump him because he was going to be a stuntman?
Yes, I did.
She didn't want to marry Robbie Knievel. She's fine.
Yeah. One, I
There's
thought it
something
was,
about a stuntman that
Why?
sounds so
Also
sexy.
hot.
to me.
and he was a very sexy guy, man.
Yeah, but that's dangerous. Like
I felt that it was dangerous, and
You
I
just
felt that.
insure them, and then you have financial security.
Well, I didn't even think about that.
I never had an issue with commitment, but I sometimes wanted the story to be what I wanted it to be before the person was really accounted for, you know? So I'd rush commitment. Why are you laughing?
Somebody knows you here.
I was hoping someone could relate. But I'd force the relation to be bigger than it was, like to introduce them to people. You wanted it to be, and then like they...
And then somebody is related
I like
to
really
this.
love you right now, like deeply feel
She's
seen.
like, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, she's obviously...
You're not alone.
No, you all have had gummies, because this story is not funny.
No,
No,
it's funny because it's so true. But like,
You're trying to make the relationship go faster, and the guy's like, hold on.
like without accounting for the person in front of you and who they are and what they bring and don't bring.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just like, I can't wait for a happy ending, you know. And you're like, it's gonna be this thing, and then it blows up, and you're like, why did I go so fast?
But
Yeah.
you know what I wonder though is what his parents' marriage and how he grew up, because I think coming from divorce, both of you came from no, you didn't.
I begged them to get a divorce.
Yeah. My
Well,
parents.
my parents should have gotten a divorce,
Yeah.
and actually, I think if I asked my father, he would say they had a great marriage. I'm not sure that I saw it that way,
Yeah.
but I think that played into my commitment issues, wanting
Yeah.
to make sure that, like for me, it was really important that my identity not be defined by a man, because
Yeah.
I think my mom put up with a lot of crap for a lot of years because her identity was to be my father's wife.
So many women had that.
Yeah.
You know, it was
In
the
that
time
era?
period. It was cultural. It was so.
But what about a relationship where the guy is the one who's like has commitment issues? How long
That's
should you
the
wait?
norm.
How long should you give somebody some slack on that?
I think it
Depends
on
how
your
good they are in bed.
I wasn't going to say that. I was going to say, I think it depends on where you are in your life. You know, if your eggs are starting to scramble
Yeah.
and get powdery, you know,
Right.
if you're approaching 35, if you want more out of a relationship, you want children, you want to get married, you can't wait forever. I mean, I have had friends that have waited a long time.
Well, sometimes it's waiting,
It's
and
too
then
long.
eventually you know better, and then it's on you. So like sometimes you're waiting, and it's like this is worth it. This is worth it. Then you see it that it's not coming, and then it's on you to walk away.
So do you believe in giving somebody an ultimatum? Like, if you don't make a commitment and marry me, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
You do?
I believe timeline. Like when I moved in with Max, I never.
I don't believe in that because I think that would be very difficult in the relationships.
You
But
didn't need
Joy,
the
the
paper.
ultimatum of like, let's get married or else, I don't agree with that. I agree with, hey, we're taking steps towards that. Are we still on the same page?
Yeah.
Like, 'cause
Yes.
I think timing doesn't always align at the exact same moment.
No.
Yes.
But when Max and I moved in, I said, I need to know that if I'm going to go through the emotions of moving in, are we still heading that way? Like,
Right.
So the hit FX series Love Story,
Yep.
it recreated the infamous public brawl that JFK Jr. and Caroline Bissett had while walking in a New York City park. Apparently, the paparazzi
Yeah.
caught this. Let's
Battery
watch.
Park.
This is the
None
recreation.
of this would have happened if you just accepted my proposal in the first place like a normal person.
I'm sorry, I needed time to think about a proposal that came out of nowhere.
It came out of love. But you know what? I take it back.
No, John.
If it's too hard of a decision for you to make, let me relieve you of the
John.
burden. Give it.
Ow, John, stop it!
Give
No!
it.
John, stay, stay.
What's the matter with you?
And it was all caught on camera.
What are they fighting about exactly?
She didn't want to commit initially to getting married.
Oh, like
because
the
of-
last conversation?
Yeah, because of all the exposure that would
She didn't
come
know she
into
was
your-
ready for his life.
into
He
your
proposed
life.
to her with like one of Jackie's rings.
The ring
Jackie
she
had
swam
just died.
in, that she didn't wear her real ring, but she wore
Yeah.
her swimming ring.
But think about it. You're going to marry the sexiest man alive, John F. Kennedy Jr., the most eligible bachelor, and your life is now, you've lost all anonymity. And
Yeah.
Follow him around.
She was
She
a
was
private person, and
Very
she wasn't sure
comfortable
if
in
she
her
was
own skin.
ready for that.
Okay.
I think it was very honest and
Yeah.
mature to know
She was
that.
being
I had such a fight with Al once in
public?
Well, okay, but let me give you the extenuating circumstances. So we were in Spain and we were on a road trip. We were going from Bilbao to San Sebastian. And I'm driving and I'm listening to the GPS, and he's contradicting the GPS and talking over the GPS, so I can't hear the GPS, and I'm taking wrong turns, and he's fighting with me because I've taken the wrong turn. It's like, because you won't
Kick
shut
him out
up.
of the car.
So I did.
Oh, good.
I went to the side of the road, and I told them, you've got to, and we had like this big row on the huge fight on the side of the road with cars honking in the middle of Spain, and I'm saying, I'm not getting back in the car until you sit in the back seat and shut up. And so then we kind of like he actually went and sat in the back seat, and then when I got back, we just had such a fit of laughter.
Well, it is.
Right? Because it was so ridiculous.
Yeah,
He's sitting over there like in timeout.
There's a columnist for The Independent, and she says that her name is Lydia Spencer. She's claiming that a public argument like that is good for the relationship.
Oh, no, I don't like that.
I don't know.
Why?
I
Would she say that?
I don't think arguing in public is a good thing. It's not good to argue in front of your children. When Manny and I know we're about to get into it, he's like, would you like to walk outside? Like in our backyard where no one can hear us? Or would you like to go upstairs? Something like we try to keep the rows very
You know what's funny
private.
though, Sonny? I always did that because I was like mirroring and modeling my parents.
Yeah.
They never fought in front of us, and I knew they fought.
I'm talking about nasty fights.
Well, so there's a spectrum, but
Yeah.
there have been times where we have fought, and Alec or someone will say, like, why are you fighting? And it's actually been a great moment to say, we love each other. We're disagreeing right
Yeah.
now because
Yeah.
I didn't witness that skill in my parents' marriage. So
Right.
Yeah.
in some ways, I think I idealized what it must be like, and I could have used a throwdown or two.
Yeah, but I think
you know?
I think fighting in front of your children or fighting in your house, inside of your house, is different than fighting like in a
Oh no,
park
because
when
the
you're getting
second I
followed
get
by the
animated in
paparazzi.
public, Max starts doing this.
Well,
no,
yeah.
And I freak
people
the-
know
I
you
get
now.
that.
I think it's
When
terribly
No, that's
in-
been way before they knew me.
And we'll be right back.
The Weekend View is sponsored by Rock Skincare, clinically proven and dermatologist recommended.
Okay, so in honor of our country's 250th anniversary, Larry David, the great Larry David, has a new sketch comedy series on the way called Life, Larry, and the Pursuit of Unhappiness. An almost history of America, where he inserts himself into famous chapters of U.S. history. I can't wait to see it. Take a look.
We did it, that's right.
Wow, get your mitts off me, Buster!
No, the war's over. The war's over.
So?
Yes, you know, the war's over.
Get off of me!
We're celebrating. We're celebrating.
What are you, some kind of sicko?
That's a good one.
So now this is interesting. The show is actually being produced by former President Barack Obama. Yeah. And Larry told a panel at South by Southwest that there was a bit of a power struggle with them. Watch.
On Curb and on Seinfeld, I'm the boss. I'm used to being the boss. And Obama is also quite used to being the boss. And so there were some loggerheads there. One of the sketches, he said, well, I don't think this is the right thing to do or that, you know. And I gave him a look. I went, really? I said, I'm president here.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
You know.
He said, I think I read that your friend Susie is going to...
is in it.
Is going to be in it.
I think she plays Susan B. Anthony. It's hilarious.
That's
She'll be
great.
hysterical.
That's-
So, do you have a hard time taking a note?
You know, you say it all the time, Joy. It takes, what, 10,000 hours to...
Malcolm Gladwell said that.
10,000
I'm
hours
quoting him,
of
yeah.
practice or to really have expertise, right, of experience.
Yeah.
Larry David has had, I'm sure, more than 10,000 hours
Yeah.
of comedic experience. I love President Obama, but he should stick to geopolitics
Right. Yeah,
when
but
it
I
comes
love-
to comedy.
Sonny,
That's like,
how hot is that though? Like in
well,
my
he's
head,
hot.
I'm thinking President Obama, comedy isn't your main lane.
It's not
but
his
I
lane.
love you for going out there and be like, I don't think this works.
yeah, well, he's got to,
That's what makes him so hot.
But
It might not
No.
be, it's not his main lane, but I was always very impressed with Obama and some other presidents we have had, and their comedic timing and understanding
Yes.
of comedy. When he would do the speech at the White House Correspondents'
Yes.
Dinner, Obama was hilarious.
Okay, actress Kerry Washington got in on a TikTok trend of women who are sharing their husband's camera roll to prove that guys have a talent for taking awful pictures of them. Watch. You know what? She's such a pretty girl. I think she looks cute.
She looks good. Yeah, she does.
Do your husbands take pictures of you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I hand him the camera and he always ruins it. Like
Really?
He does?
Yeah, he hits snap and he's like, done. And like, he doesn't change anything. Like,
Oh.
Is that you?
yes.
Feet are twisted.
Everything's where am I looking? Why is there half a pool?
Oh.
Where are you?
I'm so disturbed by
Where
this.
is that? I want to go there.
Turks. It was in Turks.
Oh.
It was our spring break. But look at what I did
Why
to
doesn't
him.
he let you pose?
Because he like gets me. Look at that.
That's such a better picture.
That's
yeah, because I put
adorable.
it in portrait. I framed it. I probably had 10 other options. Came up at a Kardashian angle. I did all the things. He looks at me, he clips it, he goes, okay, got it.
Honey, let me tell you something. Al has Max beat because anytime I tell Al
You made
to
him
take a
sit in the
picture-
back seat. He's trained.
Well, right. No. Anytime I tell Al to take a picture, I end up with a picture of his thumb. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Anna, you look good there. Well, how about you, Missy?
No, Manny's very thoughtful. I don't take a lot of pictures, and he thinks that you should take pictures to record the moment.
Me too.
Yeah, and so he'll say, you and Manny are a lot alike.
Oh,
So
that's pretty good. Look at you on
we
a
were in
swing.
Puerto Rico, and it's my happy place, and he was just like, this is La Perla is where my grandmother was born, and so he's like, take a picture, and he just takes pictures of me in
I love
places
him.
where he thinks that I should have a memory.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I don't. Steve can't take it. He gets every time he takes a picture of me, it's blurry.
Well, listen, do you remember
In the pandemic?
During the COVID, when he was running your
Knocking
Zoom?
cameras
Yeah.
over
We were
and
doing the
lights.
show
Yeah,
on Zoom.
he's a little.
And then he
That was
popped
a
up in the camera like
He
this.
did.
It was a disaster.
Do you remember that?
I loved when Steve was your camera operator. It
know, it
was
was
great.
fun.
Talk about comedy.
It was
It's
so
true.
good.
Those were days, huh? During the COVID thing. Oy. Let's hope we don't have that again. We'll be right back.
The Weekend View is sponsored by Rock Skincare, clinically proven and dermatologist recommended.
So, Sonny was on the Behind the Table podcast with our darling Brian, and they talked about not always being upfront with their spouses. Take a look.
There was a story that kind of has your name on it, I think. Someone wrote an article about going to great lengths to plan a surprise trip for her husband.
Okay.
And it turns out that in the digital age, keeping something a secret is a full-time job.
Oh.
And especially when you're trying to hide it from your husband.
Correct.
What are some of the things that you've had to hide from Manny?
I hide purchases.
Yes. Has technology ever ratted you out?
Yes.
Explain.
So Manny, he's a techie, right? He's a tech guy. So he has booby-trapped the house, unbeknownst to me.
Respect.
A lot of cameras.
Yeah.
A lot of front door cameras. I thought it was just the Ring camera, so I was bringing things through the garage.
No, you gotta have a garage camera.
But there's a garage
Sure,
camera,
yeah.
unbeknownst to me. And there's also a back door camera.
All the entrances
And
have to be
all
cambered.
of them. He sort of conspired with the ADT guy, and I've got cameras everywhere.
I'm sure it was for safety and not to spy on your purchasing.
I'm not sure because he asked me recently, why do I get so many packages?
Yes.
And I responded, what packages?
Yeah.
And
In my house, if there are no
He
packages,
knows.
the UPS driver knocks on the door to make sure everything's okay. They're concerned about us.
So,
yeah, he booby-trapped the house unbeknownst to me. And I just went on a trip to Paris with Regina and had to buy an extra suitcase on the street because of all the vintage stuff that I bought.
are you a shopaholic?
I don't think I'm a
Joy, have you
shopaholic.
met Sonny before? You two both shop.
We do
all the
sample
time.
sales together. I like a good deal. So there were a
me
lot
too.
of good deals.
I don't believe in retail.
Yeah, I don't believe in retail, but the vintage deals, man, they were so good. So I was with Regina, who also likes a deal, and then we bought these pieces of luggage, and Manny was away.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm
Those
good.
cameras weren't-
And I went right around the back,
Yeah.
and I brought the luggage in, and I was taking the things out. He saw it all.
Yeah. You do that too? You hide stuff from your husband?
Oh, I hide all sorts of things from Al. He doesn't even know there's a weekend view because I don't like. I don't like for we talk about our
too many
husbands a
things
lot.
here,
We
yeah.
say all these things. So I have not told him that there is a weekend view. I also like. He's asked me all the time how to listen to podcasts. Because now we have the Weekend View, the Behind the Table podcast, and we have, and now I have my own podcast, Bleep with Ana Navarro.
Yeah.
And I don't teach him how to listen to podcasts because I don't want him to know all the things I'm saying about him to Brian. So I keep him in the dark. And then my best friend and I go do things all the time without telling our husbands. Like sometimes we want to go see a movie, like tonight, and his husband will want to go see the same movie, or Al will want to go see the same movie.
But you want to see it
I
together.
want to go see it with Lee. So we'll pretend we're doing something else, and then sometimes go see the movie twice. We do the. Oh, come on, you keep secrets from Steve.
No.
You don't keep purchases?
I remember.
I have my own money. I spend it the way I want to.
No,
I don't need to hide
I'm going to correct you. There was the time you bought a gift for him, and it came in a box.
Yes, that's different.
And
that was a gift
and you
for
were
him.
furious.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about buying stuff for myself.
Buying stuff for yourself.
As my mother used to say, I don't give account to nobody.
Yeah. I'm more the one like watching for the packages because I don't shop a lot, but Max shops more. So I'll see things come in and I'll say, and we have our own money, but it still bothers me. I'm like, why are you
But isn't
buying?
all the money kind of together?
We have together
No.
and separate.
No.
And part of that's so I don't have to obsess over his packages. So like, I'm more the ring camera girl, but he'll come in and I'm always like, what did you need? Like I try to start without it turning into a thing.
What do you need is not a good start.
But hold on though.
But see, I feel that should be the point of entry. What did you not have before that you were looking for?
But it could be a surprise, beautiful thing that just happens in front of you, and then you buy it.
You can always use. Let me just say this as I have heard that there are people, not that it's me, that whenever they want to buy something and they don't want their husbands to know, they can have it mailed to work, and then we work at a place where we get clothes sometimes that we can borrow, and we get shoes that we can borrow. So I just borrowed this from The View. This is not new. No, this is, I got this from the stylist. What they don't know won't hurt them.
You are a bad girl.
That's a good one.
You are a bad girl.
That's a good one.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it?
Honesty
So
is
what?
the best.
Who cares?
So honesty is the best policy. Don't not do it.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's your money. What do you care
It's
what he
our
knows?
money.
Well, that's
We
your
built
mistake.
everything together.
Everything
That
in
is-
moderation, including honesty.
That is your mistake.
You think so?
You need one pile of money for you, one his money, and one together.
That's what I do.
That's what you do.
And I still obsess over what he uses his for.
Well, you should not. It's none of your business what
I know,
he
but he could do
spends.
better saving. Like there are things you need and things you don't need.
Get off his case
See, that's
already.
Manny.
Oh, God. I don't know how these men can
You know what,
tolerate
though?
us.
No, this is an unfair conversation because you are married to a man who probably hasn't bought a new pair of socks
He doesn't.
in a decade.
He hates shopping.
Okay.
No, it's true.
And Manny hates shopping.
I am married to a clothes hoe.
Oh,
Me too.
you
Max
too.
is a clothes hoe too?
Yeah, he loves dressing nice, and I'm like, just throw on a
Manny-
t-shirt. Like
Yeah,
you look
Manny
hot.
doesn't
Like
care.
why do that?
Manny's just in scrubs on the weekends too. Just
Max has so
doesn't
many
get dressed.
sneakers that the kids and I try to squeeze one little part out in the closet and like in our like the room upon
Can you do
entry,
me a
and it's
favor?
Max just
Oh, he's a
sneakers.
Can you
Sneakerhead.
take a picture of Mac's sneakers and I'll take a picture of Al's sneakers and we will count and see who beats who because
Yeah.
Al and the shoes is he thinks
I
he's
believe
in
Max
Marcos.
doesn't. I feel like Max doesn't wear them twice. I know he does
Because he's
but
a sneakerhead then.
he's an everything head that he puts on his body. It's just like
Okay, we're done with this now, okay?
Thank God for small favors.
Okay.
Behind the Table streams wherever you get your podcasts, or you can watch us on YouTube. Have a great day, everyone, and take a little time
okay.
to enjoy the
Weekend View.